Hi everyone, I'm Celeste and welcome to my YouTube channel. My channel's all about cosplay, but right now we are finishing up the 31 days of Halloween. Ooh. Today is October 29th or whatever day it is you're watching this video. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Celeste Orchid, and like the title says down below, you're going to be seeing me transform into Morticia Addams. I went ahead and already did my makeup for this video, and that way you could actually see like the full dressmaking process. I studied this outfit immensely. I went and looked up the costume designers, I looked up prop house replicas, I watched the movies again, and I watched so many clips of all eras of Morticia Addams, and by God, are they all different. And it's just like, they're not the same, but I learned a few things. The dress on set for Caroline Jones actually was unzipped at the end so she could actually walk around on set, and then they zipped her back up. They had Velcro for her like tendrils at the bottom so they would put it on when she was in place. So yeah, I'm not going to do that for mine. I actually want to be able to walk around in mine and potentially, I think, not have it stepped on. Yeah, absolutely. I don't want my dress to be stepped on. I hate that. Like, I think in the future I'll work on it so that way I don't have a problem with that. But this is like, what, the 22nd century now? 21st century? Yeah. I'm too short, there's too many people in the world, and I don't want my dress to be stepped on. So let's go ahead and get into this video. If you have any questions, make sure to do that thing where you leave a comment down below. And if you're part of the 90% of people who aren't subscribed, please try doing that. Just for a month. Let's see what happens. And if you don't want to be subscribed, just unsubscribe. All right, tutorial time! Yeah! Materials I will be using is this nice black velvet for the base of the dress. I have 1.5 meters as listed here. So this is a really nice plush velvet. I also have this nice mesh here that is a one-way design with a bordering on one side. So the top side actually has no border here, so I cannot use that. So it's literally one-dimensional. I have that, and then I have this one as well if I feel like using it. I don't know, it's just the last bit of it that's less than half a meter, so, or half a yard, definitely less than half a yard. It's really nice. This is what I used for my Catwoman dress, if you guys remember. And I love this, but I don't know what I can use for it. So we might just have to hold this one off, and I'll probably end up using that one. We'll see if we can combine the two, which, I mean, you put it on top of each other, then it's just a whole new mess. I like the V on this dress, so I'm going to be using McCall's pattern 4016, and I'm going to be modifying the bottom part because it does flare out. I want to make this nice and tight on my body and then flare out more towards the ankle area, so we'll see how long this dress is and how much fabric I can get out of that. The thing is to grab out your pattern pieces. You can see here I actually pinned down the pattern all normal until it gets lower. That's because I don't want it to flare out. I want to keep it nice and tight, and you can see that I made the adjustments. So all I have to do now is go ahead and cut that out. One thing about patterns that are really great is that you don't have to follow them completely. Yeah, I mean, you should, but not this one, not this pattern. I'm modifying it. So time to cut it out. This is why working with velvet is so awful. There's all these little hairs now. Ooh. Now I'm going to assemble the dress together. I just want to make sure that I have everything in the right place, and be careful. This is velvet, so it actually is going to fray so badly, and then there's going to be all these little black puffs everywhere too. Just a quick note, I'm wearing my dress. It does not fit my booty, but my butt crack. Other than that, it's pretty nice. Fits my booby line. So, just gonna have to create a way to add more in the back. So, it came to my attention that I didn't have enough space for my butt. So, I added an extra panel. Then I had tried it on. My husband helped me out, and he helped pin some areas and mark it so I know where to cut off and sew, and that way it'll fit perfectly. I suggest that you do this too, so that way you can actually see if it's going to be tight enough or too tight, before moving on, or having a mannequin really helps. So now that I have the right amount for my booty crack, I'm going to go ahead and add a zipper. This zipper I think is like 32 centimeters or something ridiculously long. It's not really short, so it's like 32 inches. I don't know where I got this zipper, but yeah, I'm gonna stop this tangent. Just sew in your zipper and make sure that it's even. Don't stretch too hard on velvet because it might actually have this ruffle in the back and you don't want that. I already went ahead and sewed down the adjustments. Now I'm just gonna cut off the excess. With the entire dress base done, I'm going to go ahead and serge the edges. Go get it, Bowser. What is it? What's it doing? Is it annoying you? So my hemline was jaggy just like Bowser's teeth, so I pinned it together, making sure that everything was nice and flat, and this way I can create a very nice, clean hemline. Well, a hemline cut. Hooray. You're never going to see the end of this trim. It's just infinite, and it's just going to keep going on and on and on forever. That's beyond the point. I'm going to be using this in my hemline, kind of like a bias tape for the hem, and it's going to be really nice because it's still black, it's still goth, and you know, it's really pretty. So I'm just going to sew this all around the bottom hem. Did you see? I actually did it. I made sure to make it as close as possible to the edge, and then I sewed it together. Now I'm going to flip it over, and this is going to create the bias, making sure that all those nasty raw edges are tucked in and won't be poking out anytime soon, and it's just going to stay there and never come out, just like staying in the grave. I didn't know what else to say, I'm sorry. Alright, and just make sure you do that for the entire hem at the bottom. I made sure to repeat this step for the neckline, but because the neckline is in a V, I cut two separate pieces. This way it's not going to have a weird awkward puckering at the top, and I made sure to sew it down very close to the edge first. Now, because I don't have like a pin board to actually iron down this velvet material, I'm just going to leave it. So be it. So now what I'm going to do is understitch the collar. Understitching means you sew your seam allowance to your lining. So I'm going to do that. And I hope you guys understand that I'm going to do that. And as if I wasn't crazy enough, I decided to go back and top stitch everything down. This is just going to give me the peace of mind because I didn't really create a lining. I really don't mind that there's not a lining in this because it's actually really warm when I wore it without the sleeves. And yeah, we got to make the sleeves. So I'm just going to top stitch this top part down even though I understitched it. And this is just going to help the neckline just be a little bit more smooth. All right, so that's all the hemming done minus the sleeves. Here we go! So this little section is a poem I would like to call I Messed Up. I messed up because I decided I would draft my own pattern without looking at my sleeve hole at all. And because of that, I actually wasted a lot of time and I would have had this video up on my YouTube channel a lot sooner. By the way, if you're enjoying my content, please think about subscribing, or maybe, you know, just actually click that red button down below to subscribe and see what else I've been cooking up this entire year. I have not stopped creating content constantly, so yeah, that'd be really cool. Oh, so this whole entire part right here, yeah, I completely messed up and it makes me really sad, and I really don't want you guys to know this, but I messed up on my sleeves really badly, and it took me like 3 days to get over myself to like actually finish this part. So let's get to the rest of the part where I tell you what to do if you did mess up. Or if you didn't mess up. So let's go to that. So I have my tube of fabric here, but that's not the main thing that I'll be using. I actually drafted out this entire little sleevey here from my actual sleeve hole. So what you want to do is actually lay your sleeve down and make sure that the entire opening is symmetrical. From there, you want to trace the top part on a piece of paper and then draw how thick you want your sleeve to be. So this is kind of going to go like this. Lay your sleeve down and you can see all the pins there. Make sure your fabric is nice and flat, or a piece of paper, one or the other. Honestly, because I already messed up the first time, I just laid my fabric right there. I'm going to adjust it just so it lays properly so I don't have to do too much cutting, and make sure it's on the fold. Grab a marking utensil and then go ahead and outline your sleeve hole. This is going to be perfect as long as you have enough room for seam allowance. Now my sleeve that I had cut out is actually too wide, so what I'm going to do is cut off the side and sew a new line down there. So I've made my adjustments. I'm going to cut it up, sew it up, and then add it to my dress. Hooray! And luckily my sleeve actually fits perfectly this time. I can dance and move around on it and I am very happy. I know it's a little bit loose, but overall I am loving how this sleeve came out. So now I just had to repeat on the other side and then add these little hanging things. I feel like you can add these any which way that you want, since there are so many different versions of Morticia. But make sure to serge your edges, not your engines, what am I talking about? Serge your edges for your sleeves, and then go ahead and start adding your pieces that you want. Make sure you have one definitely, or a lot of scraps, definitely at your wrists or some at your sleeve. Because I can't find my material, I don't know. So I'm just gonna get into costume now. It is so hard to show off this costume completely. Just like all the subtle movements. Like this. I am Mrs. Addams. Ah! Okay. So, I got a level with you guys. 1000% that I have to tell you the truth is that I didn't paint my nails, but I'm going to be wearing these nails for Halloween time. And yeah, these little thingies, I like them, but I want more drama. And when I finished this dress, I was like, wait a second, don't I have more fabric? And I didn't want to cut up the other mesh material. I didn't think that would work for this. But I went through my scraps and I found the rest of this. So I will be adding this back into the cuff and the sleeve. And that way it'll have more drama and not be so weak here and here. I'll figure it out. But you can either tie it or sew it. I just tied it because I didn't know what I liked. But I hope that helps. I like my makeup. So if you guys really want like a Morticia makeup tutorial, let me know. I can give it to you. I like how this looks. But yeah, overall, I really love how this dress turned out. Like, I might wear this out. I don't know. I like being goth. Morticia Addams is actually one of my dream costumes that I've always been wanting to make. She is literally a cultural icon, and I love her. My favorite actress of Morticia is Anjelica Huston, and this is the outfit that I based it on. So yeah, there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you want to check out some of my other videos from the 31 days of Halloween, please click one of these boxes next to my floating head over here and subscribe if you haven't done that. I really would like it if you did. And remember to stay spooky, and I will see you in a future video. Bye!